Mongolz, NAVI, Inferno, Ancient, Mirage, and everything to play for.
There were a lot of ways this one could have gone. Both these teams liking Mirage. It's NAVI's pick up first of Inferno. They got to dictate when and where that Mirage came through, and they left it to the Mongolz to pick it up. That's given them a slight edge in the veto. But in this pistol, they've already lost their new face, Mongolz. His first round played on the Lanxess stage ends in disaster. He's found first to open up this round.
Has to sit back and just breathe. Watch his team play out this 4v5. We know how difficult these rounds are, let alone when you've lost your banana piece on this T side. NAVI going to go back into middle. Is this a predictable play? For the Mongolz, it doesn't look like it. 3 strong on the other side. They start to get inquisitive.
They took a little jiggle there. Got the spot on Wonderful. It's NAVI with the regroup. They're going into a triple setup here. They're playing right in to the hands of the Mongolz. Already a man down as they attempt this boost. They'll go into the top of Banana, and they will get out with the kills. All of them for NAVI!
Pre-fire by Wonderful.
And so just like that, the best laid of plans. The Mongolz in the right spot. None of it comes to matter. Bomb plant for NAVI. And as Alexei holds the key to this round, if he can find this kill, it stops the retake dead in its tracks. He won't even be required. They've already dealt with Mizinho. Blitz moving in, finished off as the captains clash. And NAVI course correct that pistol.
Oh, shaky start really for both squads, with Mongolz getting picked and Mongolz just falling apart at the top of B. Techno throwing grenades when he's the linchpin of that position. Uncovered at sandbags, Wonderful's ready. And so NAVI take that pistol away. Grand finalist last year, a very different position now sit NAVI. A team struggling in playoffs, arguably more so than the Mongolz. Yet to pick up a match in an arena in 2025.
Exactly. You talk about the Mongolz going strength to strength all the way into the finals at the major, kind of culminating in that to show the improvement from this squad. For NAVI, their playoff results tell a very different story, and one of the reasons why this change of Mongolz coming into the squad, it felt like it had to happen. They were no longer getting those wins in playoffs, getting stopped every time they arrive.
I mean, they've made it to near about every playoff in this year, with the exception of Melbourne, and you know, they have one map to their name, Harry. A map over Astralis in a series they lost back in Astana. NAVI don't have a lot to love when it comes to these playoffs, so no surprises that changes felt imminent. But making that jump back up to being able to compete for trophies, compete in the biggest arenas, that's what NAVI are looking for right now. Rarely an exception to the second round Mongolz buy. An aggressive team with their economy. Looking for yet another gamble.
Crowds behind the Mongolz on this force buy. For NAVI, it's a bit of an Alexei classic. Grouped in the apartments, they're ready to move out. In for an A hit, and there's only 2 players here. Techno remains tucked. Oh my God, there's no accounting for that! Techno gets a lot of mileage out of that 5-7. Can NAVI really wrestle back this round? They seem to think so! And already this quarterfinal is a roller coaster. Can Blitz make it any more interesting? Playing through, Bit stops him in his tracks. Another recovery from NAVI.
That's a 3v5 with a team kill in there for NAVI, and they win it like it's not even close. 2 guns getting out of that round. Blimey. It's a great double for Techno, but Mongolz throwing themselves at NAVI, understandably, is what gives the round away. You really cannot blame them for charging through that smoke. with the double Techno gives us. But NAVI remain calm, remain composed, and push the Mongolz to eco.
If you want to look at players that are going to have to perform today for NAVI, IEM, one of the ones that's on the tip of your tongue. Been a fantastic tournament from this guy. And so you want him to kind of hit the ground running here in this quarterfinal. Gets his first kill here up against the Pistols. And so we'll be keeping a close eye on him.
There's been a few positional changes for NAVI, not just the vibe change of adding in a new player, but players having to get comfortable with different spots and different paces on their T sides, like IEM. Speeding up, slowing down, depending on the map. All these things could rejig your roster a little bit, breathe new life into a team that has been hitting a wall. So safe to say, I like the desk left it open, that NAVI could make things interesting. Mongolz favorites, yes. But to doubt NAVI would be a mistake many have done before. Pressure on, just peppering this save. Mongolz going to get out with pistols and nothing more.
I mean, this one's a bit of a departure from all these other rounds where the Pistols have been able to make it competitive. NAVI keep this one nice and clean. Blade's very happy with that, getting out with 5 alive, making a bit of money here for the NAVI squad.
Yeah, if you're NAVI, you're feeling super confident coming into this first gun round, right? You've won a very difficult round. You've walked into 2 stacks as well. You've had no issue getting rid of them. So NAVI doing things from the back foot, fighting forward as Mongolz come in with the guns.
910's going to bring his AWP out straight away. And he had a good spawn for Banana as well, so wouldn't put it past him to want to be involved early. At all posts. And the rifles work their way in close. What's their idea behind this 910 AWP? NAVI want nothing to do with it. They've thrown attention over towards Banana. They put util there, and that has kept the Mongolz stacked towards this B side of the map.
Just the fact that Makazi's not in Banana says this is going to be a pretty quick round. NAVI speeding up towards middle.
Out they come, Blitz, tucked in this corner. There's a lineup. That's the Mongolz captain with a double opening. Mizinho starting to feel a bit of pressure here, but this is an unorthodox way of responding to it. I don't know if Bit's going to be ready for this. They've traded places around this smoke. Mizinho realizes he's got time to get the reload off here. As the rounds grinded to a halt for NAVI.
Mongolz don't jump the gun, right? NAVI are hoping to come in on a big flank and they get that kill down Banana, opening up a new path in this round. Senzu's tucked in. He's giving away nothing. This is a position that surely should get a single kill on a 50-50 angle.
No way. Wonderful clears this, making some noise. He's even running the risk of getting peeked here. And it's not even so much that Senzu could find him on this aggressive pathing. It's what it's enabled for the Mongolz, but they haven't lent heavy into this A site. Still too strong here. Techno and Mizinho split between the pits. And NAVI move in. They have the site control. They know about these pit players. They're going to take a bomb plant here and have themselves a 2v4 to play around. That's a hell of a clear from Mizinho, who gets the ball rolling on this retake. You needed someone to kind of step up, take charge there. Mizinho is that guy.
Cocky play for Mizinho, just jumping out of the pit before his team are even ready. Feels like that's the only way that can let NAVI back into the round, but Mongolz allow them to plant nothing more. A nice clean round to get on the board here on this CT side. On the bright side here for NAVI, a couple of games already locked in on Inferno inside of the group stage. Had some time to get acquainted with Makazi on that B bomb site. Starting to get more comfortable. We might see a bit more pressure here. Makazi leads the fray with first spawn.
He will successfully battle the Mongolz off of Banana. Good map control for Navi to have. Not one they realize yet. As that retake util comes out from the Mongolz, they really want to fight for this control. They're willing to go blow for blow with Mikaze here.
It's more than meets the eye.
Ooh.
Great grenade. Techno tries to capitalize. They call for a third rotation. Mongolz with the perfect read in this round. The whole map is far too quiet. They don't like what they don't hear.
And NAVI's just going to go. Mikaze at the front. Runs straight into Techno. And this is where NAVI are going to start to piece together just how strong, just how entrenched this site is for the Mongolz. That skirmish does not end in their favor. Now they look to link up with Bit. He'd started giving up ground on his lurk out towards the apartments, and so it's a mission to go and re-clear all this space. Tries to move quickly. This is confident stuff from Bit. Knows the time is of the essence as he tries to put this pressure on. You'll note the bomb never left Banana. Bit is just selling the Mongolz a lie on this A-fake.
Oh dear, that's disastrous. 20 seconds. Bit's going to go for more. He's going to fully send into this site. That will be his demise.
Throw on the rotation.
But only Senzu in this B-bomb site.
Lies in wait. Senzu, the top performer for the Mongolz. It was his step up on stages that was meant to make this team move down that path to greatness, but he falls off. Techno can't find them on the smoke spam. 9-10, missed shot on that AWP. Ema and Wonderful will have a bit of time to get set up here in this 2v2. On the move, rounds 9-10. Down to the rifle, Techno knocked out. And Navi have pieced together where this last man's coming from. 9-10 might have found the first, but Wonderful goes and retrieves that orb from the spawn. He might be low on health, but Wonderful has his weapon of choice. That tap forces the fight out. It's real close on this defuse, but 9-10, with milliseconds the difference, snatches that one away from Navi.
Already some very exciting close rounds in this game. Mongolz are hanging on by a thread on economy. A 3-on-5 for Navi that gets far too close for comfort, but seconds between him and the defuse. Great round for the Mongolz, considering every step of the way they were fraught with peril. Over-rotating, losing their anchor on B, and in a difficult 1v1, but the AWP in the clutch with a smoke on the bomb is too much for Wonderful.
Blade taking a moment to try and talk this over with the squad. They can feel the game really starting to tighten up here. The Mongolz starting to grind the path back in. First doors as well. It's the moment these rifles have made their first appearance. The money kind of at its wit's end for Navi. Orb takes a very confident fight down through mid. That was 9-10, hoping to secure the opener.
Late timing for Navi. Out they go into Banana. And again, Mongolz have the same setup as rounds before. Bit of util damage, but Mongolz block yet again. They don't allow Navi into their bomb site. Mikaze having a rough time at things. It was never going to be easy stepping onto your first stage in a T side of Inferno.
No, I mean, this was a guy coming into the tournament who had to learn to use in-ears. He'd never played with that before. A series of firsts for Mikaze, and it's not going to get easier.
Not against such a sharp squad. Mongolz shooting hard right now.
With Ema floating back here, offering assistance to Bit on his lurk in the apartments, it feels like the decision is to redirect back into this A play for Navi. They played a second man here from the get-go. They made sure they get that apps control. And you can see Mikaze lining up the util now to try and facilitate this play.
Nades go in, double porch setup. Blitz might catch them off guard as he baits from the Zeno. They don't clear him properly. Double kill for the second man in, and the AWP holds strong for one. There's no breaking through this hold. 1 on 4 here for Wonderful. He goes no further. Mongolz keep up the streak. 3 in a row since the guns. And NAVI it broke.
I mean, outside of that last round where we had, Wonderful locked in the 1v1, they've been pretty one-sided in favor of the Mongolz as well. It's 4 alive in both the other rounds. So NAVI struggling to make much of a dent here. Still don't know if they're entirely aware just how often the Mongolz are starting with this triple B hold as well. It's kind of obscured by the fact that 910 is still making very aggressive moves over here on A. Even had Mazinho there to support him in this round. This is a nice adaptation for NAVI. Trying to maintain this A pressure. They want to get the Mongolz away from these triple B starts.
Well, you're going to have to put up a fight. This doesn't feel like the round 4 at Deagle's out, probing the apartment. Boost for the pit side. They try to set Makazi up for success. Mazinho gives him nothing. NAVI trying to scratch their way out of the coffin right now.
You're really hoping as well that there'd be a bit more resistance here from the Mongolz, right? You were kind of looking for this early fight on the pistols. And amidst all the silence, with no control of Banana, you're nervous now about a stack, and that is what NAVI are walking into.
Good flash, but it blinds Wonderful as well. Not going to do them any favors as they just get their heads rolling in middle. Double for Blink. Wonderful with a Deagle. Goes no further than 2. A good sign as an individual. Wonderful 11 and 4, starting strong, but these need to convert into rounds for NAVI as Mongolz are picking up steam.
I mean, it's very, very good to see Wonderful in this form, but yeah, he's going to need that kind of supporting cast. We've seen him trying to update his gameplay. That was something that was happening even before JL was removed from this NAVI squad, being a lot more involved, less of a supportive element for this NAVI squad. You don't want to waste an 11-4 performance on your AWPer.
This is probably the best start for Makazi, getting up to car without taking damage, and Mongolz have given it up, making a gamble. 4 strong versus just the 1, captain of Blitz with nades at the ready. If NAVI just go on this early timing with a flash, it might catch him off guard. Blitz has got to drop that Molotov. Does he believe it? Calls their bluff. And that's enough to send NAVI back. But if you take stock, 2 smokes, a molly and a flash, there's not a lot to work with. It almost forces you back into your original plan.
Which is lucky for NAVI here, right? They're hitting this site that only has Blitz in it.
Oh, they're in.
They dodged the stack. They've gotten past Blitz's early volley. He will open. Alexi dead, but Blitz knows the goal is to buy time, and buy time he shall. A second kill from the Mongolz captain, and it's bought enough time for his teammates now who are layering up these flashes, trying to facilitate even more mileage for Blitz. Dead after the double, but he's done his job. You couldn't ask for more there, and it should be enough for the Mongolz. They've got bit trapped at the top of Banana. He might feel the pressure to play through this smoke. He doesn't want IEM to feel too isolated in the site. Smoke blowing open, 910 with a heads-up play. And they're never given the choice. It's IEM now in the hot seat who has to deliver a clutch. There's the first. IEM's head on a swivel, can't quite track it down. The Mongolz deal with a spinning top of IEM well.
Shame to see that from NAVI though, right? They throw old meta utility. That's the easy Molotov for Dark, or for Quad rather, but it's easy for a reason. Doesn't spread fully and doesn't burn out Blitz. He's able to play behind that new box and get 2 kills and get to throw out grenades without getting punished. NAVI need to update their utility in this position. A good molly would have won them that round cleanly. They would have had B-site for free. Instead, Blitz is able to live far longer than anticipated. This clutch was not for IEM. And this half is turning into the Mongolz, 5 in a row. Makazi eats another grenade. Just the cost of doing business, burning down to 30. You've got the two stars of NAVI on rifles, but is that enough to carry them through?
Long smokes come in constantly for NAVI, and the Mongolz have often looked to try and play ahead of it, but not in this round. They respect that util, they give up top mid. They know the burden of pressure rests on the shoulders of NAVI.
I mean, Mongolz could be expecting a 4-buy here, right? This is somewhat saving for later, but Max Loss with a bomb plant gives NAVI fighting chance, and 9-10 just rips it out of their hands. Even Blitz trying to get back in the site in time. He might not be needed. Techno's put on 2, looking for a 3rd. Techno holding strong, and Mongolz across the board. Every player holding their position valiantly. Bit trying to box his way out of this corner, but Mongolz have got him on the ropes.
And this is flawless. From the moment those rifles made their first appearance for the Mongolz, they've yet to drop a round. They've been finding them convincingly. This is starting to feel very one-sided to open up. Another timeout burned for NAVI. As things start to feel desperate on this T side.
Yeah, they just can't avoid the stacks, right? Even when they have, they've been held down by a one-man site hold. It's not a good sign for NAVI at all. And a brutal entry to his first stage game for Mongolz, 1-8. I think the position is definitely dictating a lot of that, not getting a lot of support, being left to fend for yourself in Banana.
I mean, you're starting off your opening map in an arena you've been dreaming of playing in your whole career. You're the banana player on Inferno. You're going to get bullied by util. You're going to have to play some slow, kind of uncomfortable rounds. And with how often the Mongolz have looked to fight for this control, it's no wonder Kaze's having a rough showing to open up.
Oh god, yeah, high risk and no reward for Alexi. Jump spots middle, sees 2, but they see him back, and now we have to have NAVI finding the gap. There is none. Mongolz block that B bomb site, block the apartments. NAVI at least can call that a lot of util has been used, but Mongolz threw nothing at the start of the round. They still have 2 smokes, 2 incendiaries left. NAVI have got to force something out of their hands, and Senzu takes another kill.
That was wonderful, trying to lend Mongolz a bit of a helping hand, put him in positions to succeed, and so quickly it's building to a round where Bit and Mongolz have to go huge. Now 9-10 is wounded. This is far from impossible. With Bit hitting that transfer, it's given them some runway. Senzu tapping around this smoke. Doesn't want to risk giving away this 2v1, but the nades will find him, bring him down low.
Going through together.
They leave Mongolz to plant, and they trust Bit to cover from a range. Only Techno left. Concealed for now. Does he want to give this 1v2 a try? It's been a flawless game thus far from the Mongolz. Can Techno keep it that way? Or is Bit's activation going to arrive just in time for NAVI? Swing from the pit. Mongolz and Bit with a crazy 2v4 turnaround. The Mongolz get sent packing.
Yeah, great round from Bit. Down in the pit on T side, no less. It's going to get easier for him. He's very comfortable in that position. The swing on long for Blitz doesn't feel like it really matters when Bit gets that jumping turnaround shot, but my God, it costs them. And funnily enough, despite this strong start for the Mongolz on the CT side, it's 2 of the highest fragging players who have come in very cold. Senzu 3 and 5, Mizzino 4 and 7. Sure, he got luck shot through the smoke there. But the rest of the gang uplifting this team. What I'm trying to say is there are more tricks up the sleeve of Mongolz yet to activate. It's a frustrating round to lose, but it's not the end of the world. Already holding with 6 CT rounds is a good start.
I mean, the Mongolz here just don't want to feel like they let NAVI back in. They had them beat 6 in a row. NAVI break through, but you don't want them to start chaining rounds together now. Double AWP bought out for the Mongolz. Senzu gonna don one as well. Just said it's been a bit of a quiet start from him. And they feel like this second AWP will bring Senzu online.
A lot of space getting denied by these Molotovs up mid and Banana. NAVI just trying to keep Mongolz back in their bomb sites. Trying to keep them blind. Senzu refuses to force the kill against Mikaze. Both live to tell the tale.
Can also be a bit of misdirection for the Mongolz, right? Senzu is the one searching, even though he's on that secondary orb. So when they hear it fire off a banana, they think that's 9-10. They play right into him in the top of middle.
Oh,
Flash set up to hit the flick. Wonderful. And 9-10 exchange blows.
Yeah, IEM going before the long smoke, maybe part of what you're talking about, right? Having this second orb surprising NAVI, but it's a bit of an awkward way to lose your life. A couple of seconds difference would have made all the difference. And now NAVI sit struggling towards the end of the half, where many teams would save. Do they want to give it up without a fight? Seems like that is the call and not the wrong one for NAVI in this position. Only way they're going to have 3 AKs in that follow-up round is if they survive. Seeing a slow and meticulous T-side here for NAVI, but just not finding the crucial kills when they need to break into bomb sites. And for Mongolz, a lot of individual agency, players getting to do what they want, re-aggress when they want. Some early, well-called stacks for Blitz.
Counter-terrorists win.
And this could be a very pretty CT side.
It's something I think the CS landscape as a whole recognizes about this Mongolz team. One of the things that makes them so exciting is how they always learn from their mistakes, right? And when talking about making it into the Lanxess for the first time, you know, with the kind of history tied there with the Mongolz v Cadian, if you remember, in that game that could have sent them here sooner in their careers, they actually said they think it was the right thing, the good thing, that they didn't make it back then, that they've made it to the Lanxess for the first time now. They said they needed the reps, they needed the experience. They learned lessons and took a lot away from that major final versus Vitality. And it's a polar opposite story to Mikaze on the other side. Now at his first Tier 1 debut, he's dealt a very rough hand here in this opening map of the quarterfinal. 2-9 will be his finishing score on the half.
Well, NAVI did the pistol 4v5. Is this last chance on the T side going to be anything of the same? As Senzu reblocks B at the worst possible timing for NAVI to regroup.
They don't have a need to break that open either.
They got nothing. 2 smokes and a flash, and we've just been seeing these contact B hits with very limited utility here for NAVI already. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Senzu with a chance to improve his score in this final round.
He is the lone defender at this B side of the map, and even though his teammates can react quickly, Senzu can't afford to go down without putting up a fight. There's a follow-up for Senzu, and he wants even more. His teammates crunching in through mid. They know that NAVI are fighting and dying in Banana. The Mongolz on a runaway CT side to open up this quarterfinal.
They look like they can go on forever. And it's only the first map.
My brain feels like scrambled eggs after that marathon. Seriously, how do you recover from this?
I don't know, man. Looks like a long run. We need a quick reset.
Hey, cheer up, boys. It's only a best of 5. Refuel yourself.
Oh, that was so saucy.
It's so creamy.
You were talking about the clutch, right?
Yeah. You?
Yeah, I guess.
It's a damn good day to be a fan of the Mongols. They run away with this first half of the quarterfinal. Navi's pick of Inferno. Slow start for Makaze, the new boy. Ima, the chart topper for Navi, and Alexi. Failure to launch for the Mongols. It is a convincing streak of rounds, winning all but one past the pistol. They're looking for a statement win to open up. And they might just take us there. This pistol round really will be the decider on how much intrigue Navi have.
Yeah, it's safe to say at 8-4, it really is do or die. Lose it, and it feels like the game is slipping through your fingers. Win it, and suddenly you have a huge opportunity. Can Navi seize the moment? Mongols across the board, reliable, not requiring their star of Senzu to pop off. Put up a 1.2 in the groups. Was Mongol's standout player by quite a margin. But everyone's showing up when it matters. This, on the other side, is what Navi need. Ima activation in the apps finds his first.
Gonna need a couple more like that. The one and done for Ima may not be enough. Stop this looming threat of the A-hit from the Mongols. They'll make their way in. Navi is so far away on this retake, and from bad to worse, Bit never even gets a chance to play this pistol round.
Can't believe Blitz stops to plant there to take that fight through the smoke. It works wonders for the Mongols.
If the Mongols can shut down this short retake, Inferno is theirs for the taking. That would be all the legwork, the hard part done. They just need to stop this spillover. Makaze opens up, but it's Techno and the rest of his gang are from the pit that rain down terror on Navi.
This must feel hopeless for Navi now, right? Losing that pistol off the back of just falling apart in the first half. Has to feel like this game is just disappearing in front of you. You are passengers in this vehicle, not steering the ship. Navi forced to force. And a 5v4 that goes nowhere fast. More than anything, it's a great sign for the Mongols, a team that have gone strength to strength, a team that have started to pick up wind in arenas, starting back at Kato. Went on to Melbourne with another win. We saw them make a run into that major final, and right now here in Cologne, this weekend, they've got to prove that was not a fluke, that they can deal with the pressure of playing the biggest games. And for a very young team, that is easier said than done. But Mongols making a statement here on Inferno.
They're not going to dodge the stack here. They might just play right into it. And so a pretty tall test here for the Mongols as they set their sights on this A-bomb site. But there's the opening. Ima dead in the apartments. Follow-up kills all come through at the hands of Blitz. Not just calling a great game, but playing one too, topping the charts for the Mongols. Very young team. Their more grizzled captain.
And even then, 24 years of age, right? Hardly been around the block and back again. He leads this young team of teenagers looking for trophies. But he's not afraid to take matters into his own hands. We saw some incredible clutches from Blitz, some incredible moments in the group stage as well. MVP on that flash though, 9-10. It felt like Navi had a chance with 3 players on a crossfire and a 100 damage nade, but they got fully blinded. And Mongolz run over them on that force buy. This was Navi's map pick. Saving Mirage for the decider. We might not even get there if Mongols go to plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal in this series for NAVI was sort of about survival with that Mirage waiting as the third. They know that if they get there, that's where they can really look to pressure the Mongols. It's going to be a comfortable map, a very comfortable map for both of those squads.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. For both those squads being the most important part, because Mongols are no sleepers on Mirage. They might just be one of, if not the best team in the world on it. But that comfort goes both ways. Here on Inferno, Mongolz shocking out of the gate. On a map, NAVI look to make their mainstay.
We talked about this team always seems to learn from the defeats, from the losses. They spoke about the major, saying that, you know, they actually hit a point after winning that first map where they felt like they could envision themselves lifting the trophy. And they said that was a mistake, that added too much pressure, that caused them to kind of fall apart in the long run. We're seeing a very methodical T-side, right? Considering in this round, they're only up against that one saved gun on Alexi. And even then, it's just this 5-7 and armor. They're going to work their way into this B stack. Pressure being applied. Alexi and Ema with kills apiece. This could get out of hand. It was just this 5-7 on Alexi. That's what they were playing to dodge. They've gone right into him, and now we look on. Mazinho has not been a requirement in this game for the Mongols. Left at the tail end of a misplaced round. A rough play into this pistol stack at B. Can Mazinho save them? No. Just shy of it. Stopped in his tracks by Bit. And NAVI, and the round that never should have been, sees them through and onto a fifth.
Yeah, call it a lifeline at this point of the game. It might not even make a difference. It might not matter with the form we're seeing out of the Mongols, but if you were ever going to win, that's certainly a contributing factor. NAVI winning a round with nothing. 3 kills off the 5-7. Alexi over doubles his KD or kill count in that round. Running through the smoke to finish the job. Right place, right time for NAVI with a full B stack. Can they prove it on the guns? Makazi burns in the Molotov to come through and fight Banana. NAVI know the importance of keeping Mongols out of this position. And for now, they've done so. An AWP in apps. 14 and 5 on 9-10. Fearless.
It's no slouch in the apartments, though. And he's what lies in wait for 9-10, who for now is trying to thread the needle on these long angles. He'll hear that drop down into the pit, and so a bit of a better picture as to where NAVI are.
He made trouble.
That's what 9-10 was waiting for. The shot sails past, and now it's Wonderful's AWP next to play. Aggression into top mid. And Senzu caught by it. Advantage for NAVI. The Mongols, only 40 seconds left here. It's time to start making a move.
These are the rounds they can be surprisingly lethal in when you're ready to count them out. Mongols going back very late in the round, and we need a block on this B bomb site. Alexi's got all the remains. Makazi and Alexi, 2 bottom performers here for NAVI, have to hold against this horde of Mongols.
Timing on the molly pull. Great timing on the flash, just to try and slow down this B hit, waste time that the Mongols simply don't have. It's allowed a third player to join the ranks of the B hold. Ema on the spam, finding success. Makaze makes it a double.
Got the bomb.
Will that be enough as time is running low? It's in the fire. Techno can't pick it up. And so time will decide it. NAVI played a delay, and it's the right move.
Ooh, oh, he got him as well. AWP removed, NAVI. That's a bit of an annoyance. They can drop it over. It's not the end of the world. But that is back-to-back rounds. They convert upon that eco win. Very nice play for Makazi, not getting too overwhelmed. Lots of nades flying in, takes his fight cautiously, but confidently.
And look, if one thing's been clear since the start of this game, it's that NAVI are well aware that Makaze is going to be feeling stressed, going to be feeling some degree of pressure. They've so often had him playing tag team. They've got someone there to kind of lend that helping hand. If NAVI can help him find his foot here, up on the stage, find his footing, they can kind of tee him up to get back into this game. Because in these last 2 rounds, it's now been big B holds from Alexi and Mongolz. Money's starting to run out for the Mongolz. They've got hero guns in play now. A chance for NAVI to try and regain a semblance of control on Inferno.
Yeah, it's an understandable force keeping 2 AKs. Mongolz putting money behind it, knowing they'd rather be on the same page moving forward.
They're going to B again. They really want to test these bottom performers, but here's that help. There's that flash. It's going to set up Mongolz for the opening.
Straight into that B-bomb site. Mongolz going to jump the gun, try and force it into this double manhole, but Mongolz's on for a second, and Alexi supports. 1-2 punch here, and it's a knockout blow. The Mongolz desperately try and drag their way back into this B site. 9-10 with a dig, no guns retrieved, and Mongolz buying as much time as possible. They will flush him out. 2v5 starting to build, but it's onto the plant. 9-10, no shot, surely. They come in 1 by 1.
No!
He takes his second, and IEM saves the day for NAVI. Almost disaster averted by IEM.
And that is such a sigh of relief for NAVI. They themselves starting to get caught up in the idea of this comeback. There's a shocking reminder of the mileage the Mongolz can get in these rounds. It's a low econ round, the force buy around the saved guns. 9-10 nearly claws it all the way back. NAVI can never get too comfortable. It was another promising showing on that B hold, going 3 for 2.
Oh my God.
These digs are hitting very, very hard. Blitz up next. On the jump. Mongolz, help from Alexi. They remain in contention for this top banana control. They really want to own it.
3 double kills in a row for Mongolz. Safe to say, starting to feel it now. 4 pistols find heads. But NAVI find another round. This is going to be a 4th in a row. Gap available here for Mizzino.
Room, but no connection. NAVI, a 2-round game. It all starts with that Alexi B 5-7 pistol round. On the back of that, Mongolz starting to feel himself in this game. Multi-kills across the last few rounds for the new boy in the NAVI jersey.
How stubborn are the Mongolz? So they keep going back to these B hits because, sure, in theory, the weaker players, the exploitables. But so far, put to the test, they've answered every single time. A slow burner here for NAVI in this second half.
They've exceeded expectations, keeping themselves in this map. With how desperate that first half felt, especially. But this is where we get to see the mileage on this comeback. The rifles back out for the Mongolz, and this battle for banana control once more goes the way of this B-site duo, Alexi and Mongolz.
What a great time to call a bit of aggression, right? They've been giving away banana to Mongolz. They've been playing back in the bomb site, using their utility very slowly. NAVI now force the issue in another crucial gun round and find a 5v3. They can't get ahead of themselves. Mongolz, confident fight, but if he goes down with nothing here, it leaves Alexi in a 1-on-3. Flash teed up, but timing missed. Mongolz getting closer. Mongolz gives it up entirely.
Just gets around the corner. They were ready to fire off on him. One shot did ring out. That's at least given up the aim of the game. And they're further ahead than NAVI are ready for. Mongolz with the first catch. Even more from the rookie. Finish finished off, sure, but that's where Alexi steps up.
Dude, it's a 2v5 right now. This game is just the B-bomb site. Mongolz are just running in round after round.
And this
getting
plan,
turned to shreds.
This plan of bullying the captain and the rookie, the two most struggling players for NAVI, is not working for the Mongolz.
And now it almost feels predictable. What are you going to do? Are you going to switch it up, or are you really going to be stubborn and try and force this once more? A 3v5 and a full house on this B-bomb site. Alexi and Makazi holding so strong.
They had 2 and 3 kills between them coming into this second half. Makazi's now moved up to top of the board for his team. 10 kills in this CT side. Aggression from Bit up against the force by NAVI in full swing.
What's happened to the Mongolz? No pause for Blitz, no moment to gather your thoughts, to talk about what's going wrong, to change the pace. Starting to get scary for the Mongolz, who had this game, it felt like, under their thumb. Pinch of banana, Techno 4 blind, goes both ways.
Blind, but there's no swing yet, and that decision to go a little later, it's going to haunt Makazi.
Yeah, both 4 blind, nothing he could do. Rotator scrambling here for NAVI. Bit can't afford to die alone.
Bomb is still down towards T-Ramp for the Mongolz. Their mind is not made up in this round. As you say, Bit is now the one in the limelight. He can't afford to fall here, but he will pressure them back out of top mid. It's not just the one, though. He's got to be ready for the full force of the Mongolz lurking out here in middle. Bit, it's the lineup for a double. He's kept NAVI in this round. Ema conceals himself back at the site, looks for them on the cross-in. Once more is demanded from Alexi. He's got Wonderful in tow. Replenished on the long smoke, and Senzu with taps to send them out of the round. Feels like he's done enough. That's an overstep. That's given Alexi the 1v1 and a route back into this round. The Mongolz give him something to aim for, only to rip it all away. Clutch denied, and the Mongolz finally break through.
It wouldn't be Mongolz if they weren't winning a 2v4 right when everything has been going wrong. Out of absolutely nowhere, Bit holds valiantly on short side, and Mongolz just come through and steamroll NAVI. "2v4 right when it felt like nothing could go wrong. And this game's got legs on it. Mongolz back to their winning ways. A bit of an absence of 5 rounds straight.
It's game, set, and match. That 2v4 looking to rival the Alexi 5-7 round in the weight it carries of deciding this game. Can NAVI match it?
How's the synergy on B now? Because Alexi's decided to rotate, leaving this AWP here. It's going to be Wonderful and Makazi with just a smoke between them. AWP could be the difference maker if Mongolz give it dry fight.
Looks like they're going to boost. He's going to have to hit flick. Oh, and Wonderful will! Blitz wiped clean. Wonderful fast on the trigger.
They learned the hard way. It's not going to stop the end goal, knowing that good utility can displace this AWP and can buy Mongolz around with 40 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to do everything they can to make life hard for Wonderful. That's where Makazi might have to do the heavy lifting, but full blind. It's Wonderful's AWP, ringing out with a second. Does Wonderful have more in the chamber? He's going to pull back, wait for his team. Wait for the rest of NAVI to arrive. The cavalry is here. Another 2v4 for the Mongolz. NAVI don't want to slip up. The entire comeback resting on this round. Techno from up top. 4 on the floor. 120 beats per minute. Hearts racing now, and they'll finish him off. Wonderful! With an electric round on that AWP. Spark sucks new life into NAVI.
Absolutely saving them from devastation on this CT side. The first time it's mattered in this map. Wonderful. Coming through with 4 kills on the B-hold and the retake. That's not meant to be easy.
Starts with that flick and rounds it out with this stunning sequence of kills. Double swung, and he makes it look easy.
He's coming in with renewed form. When I think of Wonderful in the Lanxess, I think of missed shots that maybe cost NAVI a trophy back last year. That game of Mirage, those many overtimes where Wonderful felt like 1 or 2 more bullets connecting could have made the difference, could have forced NAVI over the line. Wonderful showing up right when NAVI demand him to. Around behind the Mongolz. After that clutch 2v4, it might not matter.
This entire map rests on this round. I mean, both these teams in a rough spot economically. This one could end up hitting like a bit of a 2-for-1. The pressure more so on the Mongolz there.
Doubt it will stop them from buying.
So this is what NAVI have been playing for.
This is Mongolz giving up everything early in the round, knowing in these high-pressure matches to take a moment, let NAVI burn their util.
It was a realization NAVI themselves had to come to in that first half, right? Stay away from some of this early banana aggression.
Don't know if they ever truly learned that.
And even though it's slower, it's still good timing on the util. Akazi's actually going to hang around here. He's got Alexi once again waiting with this retake flash. It's a move they've tried and pulled off many a time, but on this occasion it lets them down. Senzu has secured the path forward into this B site. And even though Ema arrives on the rotate, it's only Alexi playing in the site itself. The one man that can make a difference. Ema tries to come through, but that's all the help Alexi's getting. He's in this alone, and Spam will connect onto NAVI's captain. This B site that was propping NAVI up. The site that the Mongolz never wanted to lose a grip on and kept going back to. It falls down for NAVI, handing over map point to the Mongolz.
He's going to have to smoke his teammate out. He's going to have to try and save this orb. Will Mongolz commit and risk their rifles to take away this AWP? They know the value it has. Wonderful darting out of the site. Mongolz not overcommitting. And that is map point for the Mongolz after a really ugly T side. Round after round on this B side, they finally break through when it matters. Good realization that these reflashes are coming in for NAVI. Mongolz play anti-flash half full. They have a guy on the boost. They have another one ready to swing. Both are prepared for Makaze.
Right when you think you've solved this B site, if you're Alexi, right when you think you've got the winning plays, the Mongolz adapt. They keep it fresh. They threw a new challenge the way of NAVI. Final timeout used for the Mongolz. They want to deliver the crushing blow here and now. They want Inferno done with.
Great to see Wonderful finding his form, though. It's a good sign of things to come here for NAVI. I'm sure disappointing if they lose on their map pick. But more chances in the series still. Mongolz looking to finish on what they've started. Back up Banana, that's quite a pace. They've got the freedom of 2 rounds to play with. Very aggressive, very impressive. Util landing at the feet of Makaze. He can't get comfortable, dumping everything he has. And still allowed to survive. The Mongolz, a clear message, we are here. Must have been a very boring CT side for Bit, who's only been met with Really one proper sight take. That doesn't look to change. 2 MP9s. All that stands between the Mongolz and NAVI's map.
This is a good timing on this reaction, because I think you're dead on. For the 3 heavy hitters on this NAVI squad, Bit, Wonderful, and IEM, they've been getting dodged. They've been getting left out of the picture in these rounds. They hear more util in top banana. And NAVI, in a time of great desperation, called the gamble of bringing a 3rd player over. Alexi dead. There's a lineup. 2 snipes back. IEM just gets there in time. It felt like NAVI left it too long, but that double from Mongolz has kept them in this round. Another 4v2 for NAVI, and this time they want to deliver on it. Blitz in this clutch takes it no further. It's overtime or it's nothing, as NAVI make it a 1-round game.
Unbelievable staying power in this map. I don't know how they've kept in it from this CT side. They lost the pistol. It relied on a force buy. And even though NAVI got it over the line, I didn't think it was going to turn into much. Mongolz just don't want to give up on this B-bomb site round after round. And to think their best T-side round this half has been that 2v4 over on A. They are still stubborn. Double dipping. A huge comeback for NAVI. Was it all in vain? I've never seen such a stubborn T-side refusing to change their tune. Is it to the betterment or the detriment of the Mongolz? Is it going to open up a new opportunity for a NAVI that was slow to start?
And I mean, going in now in the final round of regulation poses a whole new set of questions, a whole new set of challenges. This is an unexplored site for the Mongolz. They haven't seen the setups that NAVI have been running. They haven't tested them before. Wonderful decides not to fire off on a feeling, but it's a big spot still for the Mongolz.
Would have been a kill.
He'll retake this deep line down through banana. Flash to try and force him off the angle. Wonderful. Refusing to fire off. Does not want to give away the location of his AWP. Believes he can use it to end this round. Bring us into overtime. The nades connect. It's info for the Mongolz.
They hear that smoke. There's 35 seconds. Mongolz can do this at the final hour, but they might just have to go back. This is a desperate call. 25.
Leaving this so late. The bomb's still in mid.
These banana players are going to have to come back. Someone's got to make a move, and they've got to make it fast. Sub 20 on the clock. NAVI ready to receive.
They've left this down to the wire. They've left this so there is no margin for error. You cannot misstep. It has to be flawless from the Mongolz. Moving in, that bomb trying to cross, and it's not going to get there in time. NAVI! Slow the Mongolz long enough. Finally back into that A play. And NAVI stop them. Overtime in this opening map of the quarterfinal.
How the hell are they still here? I could not tell you. And Mongolz, of course, they get all the entries required. They've done enough to win the round, but the clock is what decides it. A second's difference between a plant in that A bomb site and NAVI taking us to bonus play. A game that should have been done.
And it's been a game of incredibly small margins. In that round, a second making the difference between victory or extra time. And as we go on now, that pressure that NAVI felt of playing from the back foot, having to watch their money, make sure they're fine for buys in the future, while everyone feels a bit more freedom now. Aggression from Wonderful. That's the sign of the times. Throws himself into a fight on the AWP, and a quick flash to get IEM out. Bit lends a helping hand from down in the pit. Got to provide something in the kill feed too, and Bit will. There's IEM with the trade. The interplay between the two of them, the Mongolz are sliced in half. NAVI, the first round in overtime, falls in their favor.
This has been a fearless CT side for NAVI, not afraid to come through a single smoke, not afraid to reflash a position. The comms looking on point. Excellent assist from down in the pit. And even though Wonderful goes 1 for 1, risking his life, it's so much info, it's so much slow for the Mongolz to get Ema in this position.
It's also the very first time since the pistol round that NAVI have been in the winning position. They had to embark on this comeback with just 3 rounds to their name. They lost the pistol to open up the second half. They were at such a deficit.
Very different game now. A game where Mongolz is not coming cold. He's confident, taking kills, forcing them in the banana. A 5v4 for NAVI. They sit back and relax. A rotate comes in as well. Oh, now you want to try A, Mongolz? Now you realize there's 2 sides? It might be too late.
I mean, this is the trio that have been hitting hard for NAVI from the get-go, who have felt like they've been left out of the picture in a lot of these rounds. Only now, in overtime, getting their taste of the action. It's a chance that Bit Wonderful and Ema have all been waiting for. Aggression from Wonderful. We'll see that advantage squandered. Mongolz set their sights on the A play, but they've got to get past Ema. Fighting through this library smoke. Will pick up the first. It's an important trade back for Blitz, and there is a crazy opening. Mizinho has secured this A site with that kill on a bit in the apartments. Alexi and Mikaze, there's been no doubt of what this duo is capable of in these B holds, but this is a retake. It's a very different picture. They have a full belt of util on Alexi that runs the risk of going down as he tries to play out through this library control. Missed smoke from NAVI's captain. And here's a long wrap. Blitz makes a play of his own. The Mongolz weren't going to go fully quiet in this OT now, were they?
Impossible game to call at this point. Blade takes a timeout as NAVI need a breather. Nation looking on. Mongolz just trying to stay in it. Ample opportunity to close.
I mean, look, both these teams, it's no secret, have struggled immensely at finding these T-side rounds. For NAVI now, the whole objective is to win this out on the CT side. They at least need this second round. It is a matter of the utmost importance for NAVI. If the Mongolz can break through with 2, they feel like victory's assured. It's theirs for the taking. So an important opener for Wonderful, and what a way to make amends for that death in the 5v4 in the round prior.
Had a lot of impact on this CT side as Wonderful's AWP, that huge 4K retake on the B-bomb site, holding his position on A when required. A couple of opening kills that have gone a long way. He has never died first in this game.
Exec back in a B. Once more, into the belly of the beast. Mikaze gets out at 1 health.
What a debut to consider how down he was after that first half. 2 kills to his name, or 3 rather. Nothing to show for it. No success taking Banana on the T side. Would have been easy to expect him to crumble. Mikaze has stepped up massively in this comeback arc. NAVI look to finish the job. 5-on-2 into this B-bomb site, nowhere to go.
He's at 1 health back of the site in this round, so instead you're going to look at Alexi to have to lend a helping hand. Mikaze rounds it out with a hat-trick, still gets his. And the record will show that Mikaze might bend, but he'll never break in these B holds.
Back Back to the T side, though. If you remember how poorly that started for NAVI, they've at least been given a gift of overtime, of an advantage, and of everyone being warmed up now. It's a very different game. But the strategy remains the same. Mongolz would not let them up banana for free.
I mean, if you remember, it was Makaze getting the most bullied by this banana util, but he's looking like a different player since that second half. Let's see if this is going to uplift his T side at all.
I like that NAVI don't run into that early util, as the Mongolz didn't on their T side. Let it bleed.
You'll also note like a very heavy A side lean for the Mongolz to open up here. Maybe remembering all their success towards banana in that first half. They're worried about an A hit. NAVI get the space at B. It's only 9-10 Zorp here, so we can't play too aggressive.
Don't tell him what to do. Back through the smoke. 9-10 dumping everything he has, puffing up his chest, but NAVI still look interested in this late attack. Boost up on the porch side is going to be valuable, and Senzu can buy a bit of room for his team by smoking that Molotov. Still, Mongolz sit 4 strong in middle, getting played with by Bit, getting baited by this lurk. Mongolz don't believe it. They rotate a second man. The AWP gets overwhelmed on this entry, and if Blitz finds nothing, this might be NAVI on map point.
It's that same duo again for NAVI. There was no limit to their struggles when they opened up in this quarterfinal, but now their success is what's speaking volumes. Alexi and Makaze entries on this B here.
Yeah, it's what the papers will read. These two struggling players, the saving grace of this game for NAVI across both halves as well, to break into a T side, B site for free.
Techno, one to the dome, does not last long. This retake for the Mongolz, getting chewed up and spat out. Makaze leads the way, and everyone else falls in line. NAVI on map point, and 2 chances to take this game over the line.
Yeah, you said it when we got into OT. Finally, NAVI take a lead for the first time since the pistol. Well, now they've got the chance to finish this map, to take their pick. Would have seemed impossible after that first half, after the pistol for the Mongolz at 9-4. Excellent staying power here for NAVI. But the job is not done. And a disappearance from Senzu, an absence from Mujino. We saw some difficult rounds for him on T-side alone, pulling nades at the wrong time, getting caught by smoke breaks. Some frustrating rounds for Senzu, just not been there in terms of impact, not had any sharp shots. And Mongolz need him now more than ever. NAVI sit on the edge of their seat. Trying to make this comeback a reality.
Let's talk about how this is a dream that they've been chasing for years. You don't want to feel like you squandered a golden opportunity of a statement win in the quarterfinals, especially not for this team with far greater ambitions. Further to go as far as the Mongolz are concerned, but is it out of their hands? Apartments aggression, 9-10, a blinder hit on the AWP, but even more will be required. The rest of NAVI wait in top mid, and they're gonna respect this.
They've had enough.
The 9-10 AWP is hitting very, very hard. They've got to tell, they've got something here, that A site is not the place to go.
Really
so as they
read.
wrap back round, as almost every round of this game has gone on, this B site is where the spotlight lays. It's been the test of your B defense, your B offense. That has been what has decided success in this game. Techno, even though he withstands the first, gets aggressive and even knocks out Wonderful. Makaze on his aggressive pathing, that flash deletes him.
Wow.
Great awareness from the Mongolz. Techno 4K living up to his name. The solo B player keeps the Mongolz in Inferno.
No right to be here. Neither team really in overtime. And this should have been done days ago. But Techno, a perfect read on that coffin flank. As wonderful wait for his teammate to get in position. Techno forces that kill. He calls for the flash. And he shuts down every stage of that B hit for NAVI. We have more rounds to play. We might have another overtime.
We either run it back in another OT, or NAVI take it right as the clock strikes midnight. Aggression into top banana.
Oof.
Kaze softened up. An early rotate from the Mongolz as a third player joins the ranks of B.
I think the Makazi's 21 and 21 after that first half is shocking. NAVI don't want that bomb side though, they leave him on his own. Potentially coming back late in the round, but he is getting bullied by Nate again. Back to old tricks. NAVI force Mongolz back on the A side, the orb here. Static as ever, 9-10 the turret. They've done what they wanted, they forced that rotate, but as Blitz throws his long utility, he immediately rotates. That NAVI are gonna think it's a three-man A-hold. Mongolz have made the perfect call. This is the call that should send them all the way to a second overtime and to another chance here on Inferno.
Just playing straight through, but timing on that smoke pull, that's where the rest of the Mongolz roar to life. Techno with another multi-kill, refusing to let B go peacefully. And here's the support, here's the rest of them flooding in to finish the job. More play is demanded. The Mongolz, stellar defense in that second half. And with a little help from Techno 4K, there's still a score to be settled on Inferno.
Yeah, we're back to how this game began, with NAVI really having trouble just getting into either bomb site, getting shut down on both sides of the map. And, well, the difference maker is Techno this time around, 25 and 17. Hold strong every time the Mongolz demanded to. A 4K the first time, a 2K here and now. And the Mongolz are hitting hard. It's more the calling on the T side that let them down in this game. And so we go again, first and 19.
Second overtime, this is where things are going to start to feel pretty wild. This is where you're exploring new strats, new ideas, sometimes for the first time. Aggression into the top of banana, but this time there's a real rip-roaring pace behind it.
Lots of damage done. It's not going to be where the round ends just yet for NAVI. They just got the space, they plug Makazi in, they leave him for later. But already through the smoke with the util, those two B players hollowed out.
One thing's clear from the rest of the game, it's that these T-side rounds, they're the most valuable. You have to try and just get one past the Mongolz. That's kind of the goal here for NAVI.
And I've got to say, Blitz's rotations have been on the money, all CT side across every single time he's asked to be in the right place. He's made the right read. That's why it makes that T side even more frustrating. Two smokes that don't really give a lot of love for the Mongolz. They don't get that information, so they pull back into the bomb site.
NAVI with an A hit.
Gotta go.
Seen many, but it's bit to open up. The rest of NAVI hoping to spill over in amidst all this chaos. We'll get away with kills. It's Blitz on the long side, buying enough time for Techno to move in and join him. The full weight of this rotate moving in. Kazi and Wonderful. 2 versus 2, and it's more aggression out through short. That's a big spot to pick up. Denying some serious room. They'll go back and fight for this long control. Blitz is now being asked to clutch, and they double swing in a confident display. Must win at T-side rounds. NAVI, get on the board early, get ahead of it.
He's a playmaker, all right. You can see him calling that move, trying to get re-aggressive in that post-bar, trying to take the fight on his terms and forces the kills out on the long side. Mongolz and Wonderful shut out a T-side round. You said that's what they needed. Got to get one past the keeper. And NAVI starts strong on the hard half.
An immediate timeout for the Mongolz. They know, okay, one's made it past. The rest of this CT side has to be flawless now. That adds a tremendous amount of pressure to this CT side. You would have loved to have NAVI scrapping for this 1T round later in overtime. They bring the double AWPs out again. These are expensive investments for the Mongolz. It's facilitated by the OT, but it's not a buy they can repeat.
Oh, and again, missed shot. Senzu really struggling.
And dude, with how these games going, if you miss on Mongolz, he's going to start trying to close the distance. They do. They work their way up in a top banana and take this control away very, very quickly. For a triple start there, the AWP trying to take a fight down through banana. It's not the opening the Mongolz wanted.
Blitz again, making that rotation. Is it too little? Is it too late? The trades have come in. Wonderful, chasing down on this B-bomb site. Techno has been a rock in defense. He's got to do it again.
How many times can Techno stand and deliver as the one-man army in B? It's none for him on the swing. And Blitz in a world of hurt. 3 players in the site in front of him. Bit lurks in the back lines. NAVI are playing for maximum damage, maximum chaos. No saves for the Mongolz.
And now you have to call it out because Senzu's second AWP has done absolutely nothing in overtime. He hit a couple of shots towards the end of regulation, but once we've hit bonus play, it has been the opener for NAVI. It has been the way in. Getting bullied on this B-bomb site, no matter what weapon he wields. That AWP comes at a cost. It breaks Mongolz money for the last chance here in the CT side of overtime. If NAVI could really drag us through a flawless half, it feels like this game is meant to be. 9-4 down. NAVI never give up.
Great nades to soften up the B hit, but I mean, these have been a fixture for the Mongolz. Even when they do good damage onto Mongolz as this game's gone on, it's not been enough to quell that immediate threat of him just barreling through these smokes and looking for entries. You've heard it, that's how this guy likes to play. Well, he's got a Lexi there and he's convinced him on the same, playing through that top banana smoke. NAVI get the control, they spot 2 players having rotated over, they relay that to Bit and they tell him to get to work. They know there's more gaps. With 1 less player to watch A, Bit thinks he has room, and he's right in that.
Oh, dear.
Bit, a huge miss for 9-10. Bit's bullying him, has him trapped back in the library. And with such a foothold on A, with Wonderful catching re-aggression on B. This might be teed up for a convincing NAVI finish. There's another catch from the Wonderful AWP. And in a game where T-sides have been the struggle, going flawless in overtime does not feel small for this NAVI squad. They rise to the occasion. That's 3 straight on this T-side. 3 chances to pick up Inferno.
It just feels inevitable at this point. Mongolz, categorical choke after a dominant defense. The same round again and again and again. Madness. Insanity. And now out of steam. Unbelievable recovery from Mongolz, and Wonderful's AWP, a dominant force across the entire map. NAVI with no weak link in sight. 5 kills away from their map pick.
Molly's in, they're trying to make Mikazi uncomfortable. That's a hard thing to do with how this guy's playing. And he takes it in his stride to actually get more aggressive after that util.
And even though it feels like Mongolz have won the utility game in this match, it really hasn't mattered. The holds have been strong. Techno up to 600 UD. Does any of this make a difference? Blitz opening kill. Wonderful. The Rock forced back into the bomb site, but it's him alongside Bit, the two top performers in the server to stop this play.
With the game he's had, you have a lot of faith in Wonderful right now. But if he misses an opportunity to play because of this timing out through the apartment, that all never gets to fire. You won't know what he's capable of. Mikazi spotted on that rotate. That's info for the Mongolz. They know exactly where that guy's playing. They know where he's come from, and that's going to redirect them back around the world into a last-second B hit. You've seen the Mongolz betrayed by the clock. That was a contributing factor into this overtime. And so now it all is to line up. They have to get past Alexi B.
Doesn't want to use his molly. The element of surprise could do the heavy lifting here. Alexi waits for them to enter his bomb site, and he could say goodnight right now. Molly comes off the plant. Techno gets that bomb down. Mongolz have a shot in the 3v3.
It's down to the wire. But that bomb planted. Silence sets in.
Double smoke.
Fade, 9-10 adjusts. That's a huge pickup, but he won't go any further. Wonderful Zorp brings NAVI back in. He's got Alexi here alongside him. Techno down in the pit, playing for sound cues, listens in. Important trade, and Mezzinho, perfect timing on that swing to keep it safe.
Oh, Alexi's kicking himself, maybe feeling like he could have used that Molotov just to stop the site from getting scaled by the Mongolz. He only gets a single kill in that hold, favoring the element of surprise, but costing NAVI the chance to close clean. Mongolz 1 out of 3 to force another overtime. It's not the end of the world for NAVI, but it is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, right now, while there's still rounds to be played, it feels like anything can happen. You won't think about that one. Where you will is if this gets dragged into an extra overtime. You only get so many chances to close. More damage exchanged at Banana. Another one where the Mongolz come out favorably.
NAVI tried to set him up again. Deep Molly would then break on the smoke, but bounding out of Banana are the Mongolz.
There's also just a lot of noise, right? A lot of sound cues at top Banana. You could anticipate the triple B start with the AWP firing off there. And that's something NAVI are accounting for.
So they want to jump the gun.
They've pulled 4 players around into this A site. They think that AWP firing off is going to cause the Mongolz to pick up some pace. They're hoping it sends them into this stack.
Oh, back to B. Not to be. 40 seconds. Wonderful's missed that info. He's missed that timing. They might have even heard the rotate. Mongolz creep. They walk the walk into this site. It is only one man for NAVI.
And doing this now when you're this deep into the overtimes, when B has been the object for both of these squads, there's no wonder NAVI don't see it coming.
They thought they cleared it, Harry. They thought they got that info. Wonderful with the mid-check at the worst possible time. And NAVI announced their rotation, confirming Blitz's decision to walk up short. And after a game dominated by CT sides, Mongolz look to do what NAVI just did to them, a flawless T-half to force another overtime and go again.
And when you get into the realms of flawless, when teams start streaking together 3-0, the fact it's even happened on this T side, it's demanding perfection. You cannot make a mistake. You cannot do anything wrong. There are no second chances. This is the Mongolz trying to match the performance of NAVI and meet them in another overtime. Cologne, what do we think it's going to be? Is it NAVI? Is it overtime?
We got a split house. And we might have a split game if Mongolz can finish this final round of double overtime.
No one knows how this is going to play out. It's the same type of staging as the start of most of these rounds here on Inferno. A triple B lean to open up. Util exchange for banana control. The Mongolz play so slowly that they haven't had to worry about that.
The longer this game has gotten, the more both teams have conceded banana on this T side, refusing to give away free damage, allowing the defense to play the sandbags. NAVI hang around. Kaze looks for another multi-kill. He's been good for them all CT side long. Mongolz search elsewhere, leaving Senzu as a get-out plan, a fallback. That's exactly what he does. Does that spell decisiveness? Does that spell Mongolz committing here in a 5-on-2? Alexi given a chance to commit inside of the bomb site. He goes ahead of their smoke, forcing them down a single alley.
Right now for NAVI, they're hoping that this duo, Bit and Ema, both played fantastically in the groups to get here. I hope they can put the squeeze on the Mongolz. Alexi reluctantly concedes this long space, but never takes his eyes off the prize. There's the ball rolling. The advantage for NAVI, and this time there's no option to go back for the Mongolz. They have to battle through. They have to battle what lays in front of them. They get past Ema. Seconds to spare on this bomb plot. First to arrive is Mikaze. And this guy has been a revelation in one half, having a catch up on this route to progress that the Mongolz have been on, improving on these stage games. Mikaze has had to do that in real time. Well, he's knocked out first, but wonderful here, and a 1v1, leg spotted, shot sails past, Blitz demands more!
Unstoppable force meets immovable object. Flawless T-sides in this overtime. And seconds the difference round after round. These margins are so tight. How do Mongolz stay in this game? They choked it from the start.
Terrorists win.
But they fight tooth and nail. They demand more. We play on.
I mean, we have to start looking at Blitz and the clutches he's had to keep the Mongolz in Cologne, right? They're not just limited to this quarterfinal. He's been doing it ever since the groups. Blitz has been in fantastic form. Everyone will remember that particular hair-raising clip of him on Dust 2. One of the squads that led to that Falcons downfall. And so in these clutches, Blitz is no stranger to them, and with the game he's having, and now also the game he's cooling as these T-sides have gone on, it's looking a lot more varied. There's been way more twists and turns than it feels like NAVI were ready for. Back to B, looking for this control, and a rare miss for Mikaze.
Even more important, the Senzu gets that opening kill. Been the struggling player, been the one with the highest expectations. He's also been the guy who disappears on the stage for the Mongolz. We thought we were past that. Felt like Austin was the changing of the Mongolz, the improvement coming from Senzu, doing what he did all tournament long. Vizier's having a hard one. The reload's not going to make it any easier. Bit comes darting through the apartments for that kill. The wheels are somewhat off here at the start of a new overtime. No match point looming over you. Bit goes back for more. He's had enough of waiting in the wrong spot.
Oh!
Clinical from Bit.
(9-10) caught on his jaunt out into top middle. And Senzu might be relegated to a very lonely save in the apartments. What is concerning here for the Mongols, and a concern that's never truly gone away, is even though Blitz, Techno, 910, these three are doing everything they can to keep the Mongols here. It's two star pieces for this Mongol squad, Senzu and Mazinho, both still struggling.
Counter-terrorists win.
That round's such a great example of why when you reset the clock in overtime and go back to the start of a new one, it can just feel almost random at times. Teams getting very aggressive, willing to make plays they wouldn't when the pressure's on. Bit forcing 3 kills in second mid. And despite that 5-on-4 for Mongolz, it goes nowhere.
I think the other thing that's concerning here with Senzu being one of the guys we're talking about is he was someone who used to hit so hard for the Mongols in those group stages and kind of had the most ground to make up on when it came to translating that into the playoffs, into the arenas. And it felt like he conquered that at the major. Posted some great numbers, did Senzu, to get them into that final. But here, an old problem rearing its head. And it's not the time for it.
But there's still time to save it. First map into a triple overtime, into a quarterfinal.
I mean, what a way to kick off this Cologne playoffs.
It's going to be a great weekend.
Couldn't ask for a better match to open.
They had me in the first half, not going to lie. Can Mongolz show us more on this T side? That spam is available, but bit punished Mazinho for going for it last round, so Mazinho doesn't announce
because they boosted quietly. Yeah, I don't imagine they want to attempt it. Instead, just taking this position as an advantage onto itself. They're going to group in the apartments. There is this double porch setup. One of its biggest vulnerabilities is to a heavy apps play from the T's, and that's what the Mongols are looking to do here.
Oh dear.
This is a little awkward. You'll hear this from the boost, from this porch setup in mid, and so it's given Navi a far better idea as to what's happening, or what could happen in this round. Here's the play, 40 seconds. Bit up top. He's got a lot to be responsible for here. He needs his teammates to hold down mid. He can just focus forward, looking at the apartment. It's actually wonderful to pick that up. Extinguishes the smoke. They play out in the mid. They can't find him. Wonderful's elusive. And they trade places, but it's a trade that Wonderful will take in his stride. He could run down the planter right now. He can finish this right now.
Through the smoke.
Wonderful seals the deal.
35-21. Wonderful's impact has been measurable across this entire map. It's been massive. Even when his team was so cold, so slow to start, he was still giving us opening kills. He was still making rounds interesting. He has still not died first in this game. 6-0 on those opening duels. 8 multi-kill rounds alongside Mikaze.
This is Navi trying to bring it right back and go flawless the other way.
Yeah.
The Mongols just gonna pop. They play with some pace in this round, out into the top of mid, out in a bit. Convincing hole to open, and now you've got Wonderful, who might be feeling some pressure on the apartments, but deals with it diligently. Wonderful, mollied wide. It takes the util to punish that AWP.
Too late.
Mikaze in through the back line, and it's flawless from Navi. Not once, but now twice over.
On both halves, no less. They did it on T side, they've done it on CT side. Strabug's out the window at this point, but it does feel like surely Navi can finish this one off. Those improvements towards the end of the T sides starting to look a lot better. Mongolz once again playing catch up, have to match what Navi are giving us, but it feels like they're running away. Talk about multi-kills. There's only 4 across the entirety of the Mongols, everyone having 1. Those heroic moments relying on everyone doing their job. It has not been as consistent for the Mongols.
So if that's the worry, The Mongolz apparently as strong as their weakest link. Eyes on Mizinho and Senzu in this second half. Blitz once more in the kill feed to open. Gets that 5v4 to his squad. Mizinho backstab. Quick turn. They have Mizinho pressured. Makaze runs and guns to bring NAVI into this A site.
A 3-on-5 to end the map.
Makaze are both very, very low. As has been demanded of them for almost the last hour, there is no margin for error here. Every shot has to connect flawlessly if you want to win this. The molly just bounced off Makaze. It didn't explode straight away. And so it let him get out. He's still in this round now. He's still in the picture. Makaze on the swing! Gifted a second chance at life! And boy, will he make it worthwhile! Makaze, a revelation for NAVI! Resilience on display in spades! A map they had no business winning, and it's the rookie in his debut game at Tier 1 and a land this big to get NAVI. And it looks like we might be starting this one off with a bang. It's fast over towards B for the Mongolz. Let's see what type of pace they start their map pick off with. Aggression straight away out towards the cave. Wonderful. Stellar hold with 2 from the dual Berettas, but the Mongolz move in. They have their control.
I like the idea for NAVI breaking the smoke, gets them another fight. It's actually Bits spamming on the short side to take down that cave player. Bomb makes it in, but now they've got to make it out with the round. Mongolz 2v3, stuck in the open, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, and NAVI come hunting. Wonderful. Julie's already starting off as strong as he ended last map. That is a great sign. He went absolutely huge to take Inferno. The Makaze story is the one at the tip of our tongue, but without Wonderful playing lights out on the AWP, that never would have happened for NAVI. NAVI feeling good. I think the most exciting part about NAVI right now is the fact that they've even been talking in interviews, Blade, saying things like, you know, we've already done enough. We've already done better than many would expect. The pressure is kind of off to a degree here for NAVI, given that they are trying to level up for later in the year, the second major. They've been given a chance here to fight in Cologne, and they are seizing that opportunity. Trying to battle harden Makaze on the stage.
Back to the B hit. Bit only good for the first before he's overwhelmed, but that's where Ema is here to lend this helping hand. Even though there's some quick work for Blitz, it won't be enough to claw this round back. That was the force buy out of the Mongolz.
It's a cool idea, but NAVI is thriving in chaos right now, running through smokes, flashing around corners, and the one thing that's very clear from that last map is comms were on point. They had great utility all across the game, especially on those B holds. So seeing NAVI just throw themselves around the corners into a Mongolz force is a good sign of things to come.
Something else that's been sick to see is, I think, you know, one of the old criticisms you could look to level against this NAVI squad is sometimes it felt like there wasn't a huge degree of adaptability, right? We talk about them being a system team, a system that Blade and Alexi have gone on to implement within this squad, but when you're playing with a new player, it forces you to adapt, especially when you end up many overtimes deep in your opening map.
I even talked about the difficulty of, you know, you got a really tight run system in this NAVI team, but you're adding in a player who's not even played at Tier 1, let alone had to be, you know, strong on this team and pulled around in the ways that Alexi wants. So there's a lot to learn from Makaze. There's a lot of things you have to change. And the fact that NAVI couldn't get a Tier 1 proven superstar maybe felt like this would hold them back for some time, but they've come through straight into the playoffs of their first event with a statement on Inferno, and they convert here on Ancient. So Mongolz yet again fighting from the back.
I mean, look, it's not even like the first time Blade has looked to take a gamble on a young, unproven talent. Thinking back to some of the NAVI rosters of old and how they never panned out. MPL getting his start in the NAVI jersey. This was a return to that risk, but Makaze faring well on the stage.
He's looked really good on Ancient inside of groups as well. At least comfortable on T side, coming out, getting entries. Re-peaking, just very confident. So after that last game, I think it's only going to get worse for the Mongolz. This round spells disaster. Mikaze coming through the donut, taking his one, departing, and now patient. Mongolz have to flush him out. That shadow gives him a warning, and 9-10, that's no warning shot. That's a confirmed kill. Wonderful re-swing, dead after a single as well. And finally, that Molotov will stop a recommit. Miss smoke, not a problem. Mongolz have the sight.
It is going to be closing the gap very quickly. Senzu's heard this, but that slows his roll with the bomb. Right now in donut, trapped in there with Bit.
All this talk on Mikaze and wonderful. Bits here with a statement as well. Coming through with laser sharp headshots.
I mean, with Bit, it was never, you never doubt this guy's mechanics. He's world class. Famed for headshots, knows that in these types of fights where he just has them rolled out in front of him, Bit is such a safe pair of hands. It's instant death for the opposition. And still flawless here for NAVI.
Our Mongol's going to keep up this pace. These 4 rounds have gone by in the blink of an eye. A team that plays very fast, requiring those entry kills. It's going to have to be delivered by the captain. The 1 AK in this eco round. Wonderful. Thins the herd. They get massacred before Blitz even gets to fire a shot. And is it too late on this A site? Not today. Nice deagle. Blitz has to finish what he started.
I mean, look, they put the hero AK in his hands. Blitz has been fantastic in these clutches, but it's asking way too much. The net is too tight around him. NAVI play fast once they hear that bomb planted. And while it took them such a long time to get going on Inferno, the opening map, the map that they would go on to win in that stunning comeback from 9-4 down, there is no slow start here on Ancient. Everyone is firing on all cylinders.
Good nades in middle, find Mikaze, but it doesn't stop his swing. Again, just comes in wide and fights elbow alone. This is what he was doing in groups. Left to his own devices. Allowed to be comfortable playing his spots that he played before joining this team. Plug and play for NAVI. Oh my god, how does Mikaze get out with that? Bit backs him up from behind as they push down the ramp. A 2-man crunch on the B side. Mongolz, you could walk out A. That bomb is in T-spawn right now. Blitz is nowhere to be seen trying to retrieve it.
Yeah, it's so awkward here for the Mongolz. They have all the info. They know where NAVI were, but it's not made dealing with this round any easier.
This is a massacre.
Blitz now left alone. He does have an open runway to a B plant. At bare minimum, all of NAVI up and left this side of the map. And so for now, Blitz has a lot of room to work with.
It's so quiet. How can you be certain? He wants info, he wants a kill. But moving in is about to sound the alarm here. Mikaze playing it safe. Gets the info, refuses to die, and the net begins to tighten.
Blitz has felt this once already. NAVI tightening their grip around him. Clutch denied. Bomb plant sure, but flawless in this round and in the game from NAVI. 6-0.
Is this gonna be the collapse of the Mongolz, using all their energy, everything on Inferno, getting ahead of themselves with 10 B hits in a row and costing them the game in a triple overtime affair? Now they come in 6 rounds deep in just a few minutes, running it down. In a game that we've seen 4 times this year, even 2-2, never on a stage. And right now, Mongolz, after 3 years of attempting to make it to the Lanxess, they've done it once, but they are getting swallowed. Think about how much Techno had to do just to drag that game on. Some of those B holds on his own were unbelievable. Where are the rest of the team?
Blitz is going to try and put them in a good position again, looking for this mid control. He's got to be ready to square off against Wonderful on this AWP, who will have to hit the flick down. Blitz. There's the opening they were looking for. Re-aggression over here, and Mikaze trying to solo defend. Good decision to get this gun ready and on in time. He'll make it out with a second.
I think he tried to throw the smoke, but switched too quick. He didn't get out.
Once more, the bomb's going to be late, and so that will buy NAVI precious time. They're always having these, extra 10, 15 seconds to start moving around in the mid-round here, thanks to this bomb drop, and it's net another kill. They go on, it's a farm up mid.
Unstoppable right now, Bit with a statement game. I think something's cooking in Cologne for NAVI. If we're going to get these matches out of Bit, if they're going to roll over the Mongolz with Spirit waiting, with everyone gunning for that grand final, who's to say that NAVI couldn't level up in the Lanxess? Right now, it's just the stoppable force of the Mongolz. NAVI are moving mountains. (7-0). Never a chance to breathe in this T side. These rounds have flown by. The boost idea is good. Alexi creeping in, and that is a naughty opening kill here for the Mongolz.
It's a nice gimmick for the opener. And once more, it's Blitz to be the guy to go and secure it for his team.
Oh dear.
Takes it one step further. Looks like Bit was in the middle of communicating with Ema there. Saw him take his eyes off the prize.
Gotta win this.
Blitz has done really well to leave the Mongolz in such a strong position. Entrusted with the hero gun, the captain's carved his own path into this round.
Uh-oh.
Will it be enough? 9-10 gets into a post plant. Blitz also waiting, and they immediately charge down at 9-10. Right now, there's time being lent to Mazinho on this backstab, but he knows he can't just play for one. Fires off as they try and close the distance. Mazinho trying to get mileage out of this flank. Defuse tapped. Both players knowing about. They try and clothesline the Tech-9, and he'll find them.
Wait,
but this stick,
no,
he's holding it. Bros don't fake. Daylight robbery from Ema. And NAVI don't relent. Still flawless. In spite of Blitz's best efforts, the Mongolz can't find a thing.
That spam's going nowhere. It's not even landing on the bomb, and Mazinho can't be forced to play. He's down long side with a pistol. Disaster strikes in a 5v3 for the Mongolz. Red carpet rolled out and a backstab. None of this matters.
Counter-terrorist win.
The thing that's so wild here is even when you think back to the kind of heyday of NAVI, prior to this change, you think back to their major run and the likes. The story for this NAVI squad wasn't dominating teams. These were close games, right? It was win by rounds for NAVI. Yeah. That was how the system operated. This is dominant. You didn't have any type of scoreline like this on that major run.
A major they won by losing more rounds than they won. Now that speaks to the team play. Mongolz even said it coming into this game. He said it in an interview with HLTV, saying that Mongolz, they're playing very individual. We can beat them as a team. And that's how NAVI have won that previous map. Right now, yes, the individuals are doing a lot of work, but Inferno was a full roster, a unit of NAVI, everyone carrying their weight. Oh dear, final bullet. Because he should be dead, can't escape from that corner. Techno doesn't keep it up after one. Orb looking for an A pick, expecting Wonderful. Instead, it's Bit.
There's been damn near flawless in this game as Bit. Every shot connecting cleanly. Very much embodying what it means to play your own game. Bit taking another head off. Flashes himself for even more. An important catch for the 910 AWP. But rather importantly, Bit bought time. And NAVI are fully ready for this play. They have the Mongolz surrounded. It's another round where Blitz is in the middle of the NAVI ranks, and this net continues to close. Can Blitz evade capture? No, he cannot. NAVI remain one step ahead. And after an incredibly competitive opening map, back and forth all the way through into the overtimes, a game of margins, while this second map is a game of miles. NAVI leaps and bounds ahead of the Mongolz.
They've been given more than an inch, and they are taking it all away. The pace of this T side, something Mongolz will regret. 9-0 down. No position, feeling safe. Nowhere they can call their home. Break on the cave smoke. Alexi, confident approach. They run past and take middle from heaven. Still, Alexi peppers them. Ouch. But impact nades, well, that saved the game for NAVI. Back on Inferno. Together, nice re-clear. It is 1-for-1, but they weren't ready to jump. They're going to speed up towards the B bomb site. Mongolz yet again sit in the advantage. Is it enough?
Awkward clear for Bit. Felt a lot of pressure. Felt like he had to make a move. Messinho will get picked up for free.
Now they've got to go.
This is a round where NAVI could have been tempted to never give it a go, but that one kill, clawing back one, well, that intrigued them, because Ema is making his way round. Bomb's going to get planted here. There's nothing that NAVI can do to stop that. They're looking for that one kill that brings them back in to a very unlikely round. No one from the Mongolz feels a great degree of comfort here, even in the 3v2, even though they've had time to get set up. It's a losing game, it's a losing battle. NAVI play it forward. A lot of damage provided from Ema, but not that critical kill, and an instant re-swing for Senzu. The Mongolz in round 10 get on the board.
Senzu showcasing some of the individual ability we know he has. Big 3K round with the entry through cave and the closer as well. Opts not to take the AWP here for the Mongolz, as they just need to squeeze out 3 to feel like they got a chance to play in this map. Their pick. Knowing just opening the floor to a third on Mirage. That's when Mongolz feel favored. Being able to beat the world's best on it, and dominantly so. A map where their individuals stand above the rest. A map they may never get to try in this quarterfinal if NAVI can keep up. 9-1, they laugh off the lost round. NAVI don't care.
No 1A in the opening move from NAVI. A heavy stream of nades out towards this B site. Nades that the Mongolz are ahead of. Wonderful was posted. He was ready
Look at him go.
for this B push, and never content with just the one. Wonderful looks for even more. This might be a crushing blow dealt to the Mongolz. Senzu left in this clutch. Only feels like he's found his voice here very late in the series, very late in the game. Can Senzu hold the key to unlocking a couple more rounds for the Mongolz?
Just a smart reset here for Ema to go back to play with his teammate rather than give away these 2 1v1s that are available to trade. They don't even need to. 10-1, domination continues. And sure, Wonderful's hitting shots. That's exciting, but I think the thing that's so cool about how he's playing in this series is he's playing with agency. He looks like he's been let off the leash, allowed to make his own plays. Typically a player who was constricted, confined to just a couple of shots around, and when he missed them, you really felt that let NAVI down. He is forcing fights, he is pushing utility, he is playing on his terms. And it certainly helps that he's not missing a beat while he does that.
No, you know, in this era of the game, it's so quickly being dominated by these strong rifle and AWP duos, and it was clear for NAVI. Wonderful had to fit the bill there. He's emboldened and lived up to that across this series, across this game. Mongolz playing in smokes.
Careful.
Turn to Mazinho. He's going to catch him on the flick in the bottom and middle. Still lusting for even more is Mongolz. And he's really coming to his own. And NAVI beat back the Mongolz. No hope here on Ancient. Just one round in this game on the Mongolz map pick. It might all be over. If there were any doubters as to the resilience and the brilliance on display from NAVI, well, they've quelled them here. A deadly trio. Ema, Wonderful, and Bit, who are lights out back in the groups, keeping up those appearances well into the playoffs. Mongolz as the X Factor, the guy that could have made or broken this run, coming into his own. And topping the charts here on this second map at an 11-1 scoreline. Victory is teed up for NAVI.
Yeah, and right now hitting the big red button, the eject button, is the Mongolz eliminated from Cologne in a dismal second map unless they pull off a comeback to rival NAVI's on Inferno. Mazzino immediately headshot. He's had a horrific series. It's not going to get any better in this pistol. And Mongolz know they need to make a rotation. They need to make a gamble. They roll the dice, but not in their favor.
Only one guy here. It's Techno 4K. It was his B-holds back in Inferno that gave life to the Mongolz, but just a one and done from him here might not be enough of a lifeline. Rush through on Mazzino, and in amidst all this chaos, IEM finds a way to thrive. 9-10 is the sole survivor of this B hit, and he's on a timer, and that timer just expired. NAVI, 11 chances. It has been no contest on this second map. One faint glimmer of hope provided by the Captain Blitz. One of the few Mongolz players who kept this up throughout the entire series. But it's the departure of Mazzino, Senzu never getting going. A failure to launch on this second map. That's what will be remembered. This leveling up of NAVI at just the right time.
Yeah, an unmemorable second map for the Mongolz after such an exciting start. They come crumbling down. Oh, almost the collat. It's wonderful who gets out. Low health. Some low players here. Perhaps a chance for the Mongolz to delay their death. But even then, man advantage firmly held as NAVI wait for a mistake.
I mean, NAVI know it's all eyes, all pressure to make plays on the Mongolz. They were waiting for one, and Senzu does find the gap. I almost don't want to say it, but you could really justify saving here.
Yeah, unfortunately true.
No one wants to admit it at 12-1. But it gives them a lot to work with in this next round. For now, Wonderful starts this little creep out through mid. Gonna go fish and see what he can get away with.
Yeah, the justification is just that you don't want to give Mongolz AKs and Galils and let them rifle up for the next. You want to keep them low, but NAVI refuse to throw in the towel at a scoreline like this, and you have to commend that. Back to this B site. Techno, 2 shots, win the round. It's simple as that. He catches them, nades in hand. Respectable attempt, but that's all it is here for NAVI as Mongolz find a second. Doesn't even feel like they're closer. We all know what's going to happen. I think that was a collat deagle headshot.
The hero gun saved for Wonderful. Pistol armor for everyone else. Blitz. That's not the type of death you want to give away. They try to overwhelm Techno, and he will respond. Are they ready for this A hit, though? Because it's only 9-10 here. MP9 up close. It's good range for it, but he's about to have 3 players on his screen. This won't be easy, 9-10. They boost up. That's info. That's something. Just the one and done. Rotate starting to peel on round. Alexi with the bomb plant. Wonderful, hoping to take some space. They get out with a plant, and that's it.
It's all about teeing yourselves up, right? Damage, plants, all these little details for NAVI make the difference in making their final round easier. That's not really enough. It will facilitate some pistols, but NAVI should just take a breather.
But the Mongolz, they've taken their first few steps of a marathon here. Not thinking about a finish line, not even really thinking about a halfway point. You've got to take it round by round.
Isolated incidents.
You've had this little streak of success after the Force. You might have one more with more pistols fielded for NAVI, who feel like they have all the time in the world to bring the guns out. Aggression onto the lane. This is what NAVI are waiting for in the round. Flash comes out, blinds these ramp players, won't come to matter. Alexi on a Glock, now armed with an AK. They pulled the knife, they're trying to stop him, and Blitz will!
Didn't even fire back. Just let it happen. And at least Mongolz can have some fun in this matchup. It's very limited. There's not a lot to go around. NAVI have taken the stock.
Counter-terrorists win.
Everyone laughs it off, but this is it. NAVI's best chance yet.
Early on, Alexi's going to be feeling a big degree of freedom with this type of lead. He can call whatever type of round he wants. They've got the room to work with. Fast play out through mid. They're going to nade this open, and it's on that timing. Mikaze tries to strike.
Blitz
just gets out with one.
Blitz has the second orb. That's the point we're at in this game. He's not even going to let Senzu play it. Takes matters into his own hands in the right place now.
Dude, with good reason, Blitz has been a very, very consistent piece for the Mongolz in this series. 2 kills already from his orb. He's found his impact with it. Can he continue to justify this investment?
Unproblematic, but I'm always going to think back to the fact that they just went B for 10 rounds in a row on Inferno, and they never even really looked elsewhere. And then they won 1 2v4 on A, and they went back to B. And I think the calls somewhat let Mongolz down in a game that we had players playing great.
Another good catch from Blitz on this second orb.
Playing his heart out. And running through the molly.
He nearly burns in the molly, trying to get even more aggressive. Hey, 910's the AWPer. There he is in the kill feed. Alexi's just discovered him.
Very loose game right now. Oh, wonderful. Give it a go. Nothing to lose, but he's gone, and Mazzino makes sure of that. So 4 rounds in a row for the Mongolz. And I'm still not convinced.
I mean, we said they got to take it a round at a time. That's very much the vibe for the Mongolz. They are approaching that halfway point on the comeback. But it's far too early for celebration.
Another half.
For NAVI, you just don't want to start to ever feel like you're running out of runway in this game. It's a ways away from that happening. It's another one of these partial buys with the goal of bringing out guns in the next. So a chance to remain competitive here. They set their sights on the B play.
Oh.
Hell of an opening for Senzu. Spam connects.
That's hap. Unlucky. They lose a lot of the util on Alexi as well, so now NAVI just kind of have to force their way into this B bomb site. Jump spot. Sees the AWP. Cave becomes more tempting. Cheers for the Mongolz, still echo in the Lanxess. The dying light of this CT side. As NAVI try to snuff it out, it's going to have to come down to that rifle round.
The conviction on display and how clean these rounds have felt is a huge sign of faith for the Mongolz. It's just this game is already so far away from them.
They're just playing like it's already done. They're playing like they've got nothing to lose, and truly they don't at this point. After a 12-1 lead for NAVI, just throw yourselves around corners, take fights, screw it. We haven't got a chance anyway. It's when you hit those final couple of rounds that the pressure appears again. If you get to 12-10, you're going to start feeling like this is a reality. Can Mongolz make it that far? NAVI who just need that one round, those 5 kills, that 3v3 post plant with time to take position, any situation where they can call their way over the line.
And what we're really looking for is kind of that opening door, right? You want that first 5v4, make life easy for Alexi, give him even more to work with. You'll take this if you can trade your way to a favorable spot and a 3-on-3 with a lot of damage done 9-10.
And the back door's left open. The porch light is on. Makazi's coming through the back line to backstab this entire round. The bomb can rotate out. They're scared of middle. Wonderful still takes that high-risk maneuver to move himself over, and this is a plant opened up. This is the beginning of the end. This should be an impossibility for the Mongolz.
Makazi's so entrenched, so deep behind enemy lines. Taking a bold risk on that push out through A. He has carved this path to victory for NAVI. It took the Mongolz 3 tries, 3 years to make it to the Langston. They felt like this was their time after the finals in Austin. But NAVI have just stolen it all away.
A team and a rebound.